Real quick, on the top of your notes today, down the side of your notes, wherever you want to write it, we got to refresh our memory with 30, 45, 60, and all these degree measures that we should not have to use the reference sheet for anymore to convert into radians. We should just know what they're equal to in radians right away. I know it's already written down in the previous notes of your packet, but let's write it down again. And I'm not calling on people today because I want to go quick and we should know these. 30 degrees. Anybody remember 30 degrees in radians?
Pi over 6.
Pi over 6. And I know I got more than Caroline here today, so everyone just chime in. Anybody remember 45? Pi over?
4.
4? Good. I have no idea what that was. Pi over 4. How about 60? Pi over? 3. Those are the big 3 right there. To me, those are the big 3. All right? Those are the big 3 right there, 30, 45, and 60. Got to know those cold. These others are kind of like icing on the cake. If we know them, awesome. If we don't, we'll remember them eventually. But those 3 are the big 3 we need to worry about. 90. Anybody remember 90? On the line, pi over? 2. Good. There we go. 180. This is probably the easiest one to remember. It's just pi. That's it. 180 equal to pi. 270. Anybody remember 270?
3 pi over 2.
There we go. 3 pi over 2. And this was the very first one you guys ever learned together. 360 was? It's double 180. 2 pi. There we go. Come on, guys. I know you're not bashful. So those are the 7 right there that I would expect you guys to know without using the reference sheet. So these problems go a little quicker. All right, all good? All righty. Let's move to the notes now. Quick ones today. Quick ones. You should probably have about 15 minutes or so to work on the assignment today. Oh boy, we're back to our 30, 60, 45, 45. I hated that day. I know you did. And because I know you hated that day, I'm not going to have you guys set up the charts that we did for that day. I'm just going to tell you what the sides are. So if I'm in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, 45, 45, 90, and the hypotenuse is 1, the other 2 sides will be radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. All right? So if you know the hypotenuse is 1, those other sides would be radical 2 over 2. All right, hop over the other triangle we talked about, a 30, 60, 90. If the hypotenuse is 1, the side across from 30, everyone go to the side across from 30, opposite the 30-degree angle will be 1/2 every time, as long as the hypotenuse is 1. And what about the side across from 60? It will be radical 3 over 2. And if we did our charts and everything, that's what everything would come out to be. All right, why am I showing you this? Why does the hypotenuse have to be 1 all the time? And the 30, the 60, the 45? Here's why. I want to introduce somebody to my friend and your friend for the remainder of this unit. Look at that circle. It's called the unit circle. This is called the unit circle. Looks pretty involved, doesn't it? Here's why it's called the unit circle. You start here at the origin, and if you go out to any point on this circle, these radiuses that I'm drawing have a length of 1. 1 unit. 1 unit. Any radius on here has a length of 1 unit. Don't need to draw those. All right, I should have told you that before. All right, any radius on this has a length of 1 unit, hence the unit circle. All right, unit circle. And you guys can see here, I got 30 degrees, 45, 60, and I go all the way around to 360 again. What I need to work with you on the first 5 minutes of class today is, what is that point right there? Is it 1, 2, 1, 3? What is that point at 30? What is it at 45? And what is it at 60? That's what you guys are going to help me out with now. So get ready, open up your mics. Let's start with the point at 30. Do not draw any of what I'm drawing right now. Do not draw it. Just focus on the screen right now. Watch. I'm going to make a triangle right now. A right triangle. And since we're at 30, this angle right here is 30 degrees, which would make this angle up top 60. Stay with me. Anybody know how long the hypotenuse is here? How long is that hypotenuse? Remember, we're on the unit circle. What did I tell you? Each one of these is how long? Open them up. Let's go. One. Isn't this the triangle up above? It's got a hypotenuse of 1. All right, so everyone take a look. What's the side? How long is the side across from 30? Look at your triangle above. How long is the side across from 30? I don't want to call on the numbers today.
1/2.
1/2. And how long is the side across from 60?
Radical 3/2.
All right. Now,
Why is that?
what's that?
But why is that? I don't really.
Why is it 1/2 and okay? I don't want to get into it too much, Caroline. But if you remember our chart, right? Remember setting these up.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
All right. Across from 90 is 1. I cut it in half to get to the side across from 30. That's why it's 1/2
Right.
across from the 30. Okay.
Okay.
Good? Yep. All right. So this point right here at 30 degrees, the x-coordinate. Well, isn't this the x-axis right here? This is the x-axis. So the x-coordinate is going to be radical 3/2. And the y-coordinate right here will be up 1/2. So on the unit circle at 30 degrees, this is the point. X-coordinate is radical 3/2. Y-coordinate is 1/2. "45 degrees now. Let's see what the coordinate is at 45. All right, here you go. Let me draw that triangle. Right triangle, 45, 45, 1. Can you guys fill in the other two sides for me? What's across from both 45s?
Radical 2/2.
Thank you. Radical 2/2. Radical 2/2. So guess what this coordinate's going to be at 45? X coordinate will be radical 2/2, and so will the y coordinate. That's the point at 45. And I know some of you, we have to go all the way around the circle. No, you don't. No, you don't. You'll see why in a second. We're going to stop at once we do 60. All right, so at 60, here's the 60-degree one. Right angle, here's 60. So that must be 30. Still 1 on the hypotenuse because it's on the unit circle. All right, what's across from 30 again on your triangle? What's across from 30?
1/2.
1/2. What's across from the 60, everybody?
Radical 3/2.
Thank you. Anybody can chime in there. All right, so now, what's my x-coordinate? 1/2. And my y-coordinate? Radical 3/2. And those are the only 3 you're going to know. Those are the only 3 you're going to know. Why? Look at, don't I have more degrees to do? Jeez. Here's why, everyone. Go to 120 right now. Go to 120 for me. Just answer this question. What's the reference angle for 120? And this is why I'm not calling on people, because this is stuff we should be able to do. The reference angle for 120 degrees.
60.
60. Oh, 60. The reference angle 60. Go to 60 degrees again. What was the coordinate? 1/2 radical 3/2. It's going to have the same coordinate as its reference angle. With a little twist. Here's the twist. What quadrant have we just crept into? Quadrant 2. What quadrant 2? Yes? Anybody know anything about the X or the Y values in quadrant 2 as far as are they positive or negative? If you're in quadrant 2, what do you know about the X values in quadrant 2?
They're negative?
Yeah, so you better make sure 1/2 is negative. That's the only thing you got to worry about. And the Y values in quadrant 2 are positive, so it stays positive radical 3/2. So it'll have the same coordinate as its reference angle. 135. What's the reference angle? 135. Reference angle of?
45.
Yeah. So it's going to have the same coordinate as 45. Radical 2/2. Radical 2/2. But again, you're in quadrant 2, so the X coordinate is always negative. So it's negative radical 2/2. All right, let's keep trucking. What about 150? Reference angle for 150. Do your math real quick. 150.
30.
30. Same coordinate as 30. Radical 3/2. 1/2. Just be aware of what quadrant you're in. I got to make that negative. All right, let's go a little quicker now. I won't ask everyone every degree measure. I'll write in some for you. Let's go to 210. 210. Reference angle. I know you guys have a little trouble with reference angles in the third quadrant, but 210, what's the reference angle?
60.
60, perfect. 60? We sure it's 60?
150?
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
No.
Everyone relax. Everyone relax. All right, stop
That's
showing
fine,
off.
man.
I'm at 210. Reference angle for 210 should be 30. Guess?
Yeah.
30 degrees, 210 minus 180. So 30 degrees, my coordinate is radical 3/2, 1/2. All right, talk to me. What do you know about the signs in the third quadrant?
They're both negative?
Yes, they are. So both your coordinates better be negative. All right, I'll give you these couple so it's not as painful. 225 has a reference angle of 45. So it's going to be radical 2/2, radical 2/2, but make them negative. .240, that's a reference angle of 60. So 1/2 radical 3/2, but both are negative. Ready to head over to the final quadrant? All right, 300. Somebody let me know. Reference angle for 300?
30.
Is it 30?
Oh, no, it's, what is it? 60.
360 minus 300, which is 60. So it should have a coordinate of 1/2 radical 3/2. Anybody want to tell me about the signs in the fourth quadrant?
The first one is positive and the second one is negative.
Correct. Yes. X's are positive. Y's are negative. All right. 315 has a reference angle of 45. So that'll be radical 2/2. Radical 2/2. But the Y coordinate again is negative. And finally, 330 has a reference angle of 30. So radical 3/2, comma 1/2, but the Y value again is negative in the fourth quadrant. There it is. Again, only 3 you need to know are right here. That's the only 3 you need to know. If you can find a reference angle, and I'm not too sure yet, we got 100% on that, but as long as you can find a reference angle, 30, 45, and 60 are all the only coordinates you have to remember. And let's be honest, do you even have to remember 45 degrees? The same darn thing, radical 2/2. Honestly, guys, the only thing you have to worry about is don't switch up 30 and 60. Okay? Personally, I think you could just remember 1 and be all right with it. If you can remember what 30 degrees is, radical 3/2, 1/2, Just flip it for 60, right? Just flip it when you get to 60. And then 45 again is the same numbers. All right, so if you just remember 30, I think it'll be fine. Any questions on those? Because we did not give love to some angles on this circle. What about the ones that fall on the axes? We didn't give any love there, did we? 0, 90, 180, 270. We better give love there. Here we go. What is this point right here? And remember, all these go out to 1. So if you went out to 1, if I just drew a quick ghetto graph here, if I went out to 1 here, anybody know what that point is on the graph? If I go out to 1 this way, what is that point on your graph? Somebody knows. What's that point right there if I go out to 1 and you graphed it? Nobody. Go ahead.
0?
What is it?
Would it be 0, 1?
That's coming up. That's up here. Why don't we just, okay, let's do 90 now. That would be 0, 1. Yes, that's 0, up 1. What about this one then?
1, 0.
1, 0. Yep, out to 1, 0. All right, now you're picking it up. What about 180? What would this one be over here now? Remember, it goes out to 1 this way, so this would be?
-1,
-1, 0, yep. And then finally down at 270 down here would be what point?
0, -1.
There you go. Okay, it always goes out to 1 for those. Anything here? I just threw a lot at you, but you're going to see it's not that bad at all. You just have to remember what the reference angle is. All right, let's go. Let's finish these 3 and we're done. Whew. All right, state the quadrant. That's old school. I don't care about that. We can do that. Draw a diagram. We can do that. The only thing we need probably help with is what's the ordered pair if it was on the unit circle. All right, -120. Find the quadrant and draw it. -120. We've had extensive practice in finding the quadrant and drawing it. I'm assuming most of you guys probably don't like -120, so you're adding 360 to it and working with 240 instead, which is completely fine. All right, chime in. Where's 240? What quad?
3.
Yep. All right, let's draw it. This isn't anything new. Total review right now. 240, 240, closer to 270. Boom. And unfortunately, here's where you guys made a couple mistakes yesterday on your quiz. -120. Which way should my arrow be going? -120 we're graphing.
Clockwise.
Yep. Some of you guys went the other direction, and some of you guys gave me like a little pinwheel. The pinwheel's only for something bigger than 360. All right, so that was review, total review right there. Now let's get to the good stuff. What is this point on the unit circle at 240? Well, got to find the reference angle. That's your first job. Don't look back and cheat either. Reference angle. What's the reference angle for 240 degrees?
60.
60. Done. Again, if you're still struggling with that, you got to get some help there finding the reference angle. 60 degrees. So now you think in your head, what was the point on the unit circle at 60? And if you have to go back and look, that's fine. But hopefully you get to the point where you just know it off the top of your head. And it is 1/2, comma, radical 3/2. But pay attention. What quad was I in? We were in quadrant 3. What do you know about the X and the Y's in quadrant 3?
They're both negative.
There you go. Good job. So make sure they're both negative, please, because we were in quadrant 3 to begin the problem. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm asking you to do today. Tomorrow and Friday, we're going to take this a step deeper and actually use those coordinates. But I just want you to find them today. All right, B, pi over 3. Boom, let's go. Don't even look back. Pi over 3. What do you got? Degrees. Fire it at me. Pi over 3.
60.
60. Boom. Done. So I got a 60-degree angle. Don't need that darn reference sheet. Quadrant. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just insulting you if I ask. Quadrant 1. Graphing it closer to 90. Perfect. I know I'm going quick here, but this is a 60-degree angle in quadrant 1 I'm graphing. Done. Now, what's the coordinates on the unit circle? I'm at 60. I don't need to find a reference angle. It's 60 degrees. So on the unit circle, it's at 60, 1/2. Radical 3 over 2. Do not need to worry about signs because they're in the first quadrant. Both are positive. That problem was just to show you where you're going to get radians too. Okay, you are going to get radians. Everyone all right? I went over that pretty quick, but everyone okay? All right, what about C? 3 pi over 2. Boom, bang it out, bang it out. 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2.
70.
270. Ooh, where's 270?
Boom.
Okay.
Y-axis.
Yep. Anybody? Oh, this would be huge. You would be dropping some serious knowledge right now if anybody could remember the term I use for an angle that's on the line. What do I call those angles? 90, 180, 270, 360. Anybody? I gave a name to those way back.
Quadrantal.
There you go. Quadrantal angle. So you can't tell me it's in a certain quadrant. You can tell me it's a quadrantal. I don't even know if that's correct or not. I could care less. Couldn't, excuse me, care less. All right, graph it. You can graph a quadrantal. I don't think we've done many of them, or even if we've done any. There you go. There's the first side. You guys know 270 is right here, so just graph it on the y-axis here. And make sure you have the arrow going in the correct direction, counterclockwise, for positive 270. And then at 270, what's that point on the unit circle at 270? Remember, this is a distance of 1. That point's going to be 0, -1. Yep. And that's all you need to do there. Okay, here's what I need you to do next. Everyone go back to classroom for me. Go back to classroom. All right, go to Unit 3. Go to Unit 3, everybody. Unit 3 on classroom. Everyone see where it says week of November 2nd homework answers? Open that file up. All right, so under Unit 3, week of November 2nd homework answers. Once it's opened up, look for November 4th, today's date. And I want this open as you are doing the problems right now. So you know if you got them right or wrong. It is the exact same questions. Half the assignments in degrees, the bottom half's in radians. All right, have this open. Don't just copy it. Try it out. Look at my answer. Did you get it right? The only thing I'm going to apologize for, and you guys can tell me one job later, for numbers 1, A through D, I did not put the quadrant. I apologize. That's my fault. One job. Okay, I did not put the darn quadrant. All right, so have those open. That's what you guys, 15 minutes on the dot you guys have. Perfect timing by me. Let's get going.